Test to find the world's strongest man.
The competition this year comes from Finland, land of 1,000 lakes and endless forests. We're based here at Joensuu, 50 miles from the Soviet border and 280 miles northeast of the capital, Helsinki. Founded at the mouth of the Pielajoki River almost 150 years ago, Joensuu is the capital of North Karelia, one of Finland's 12 provinces. Its growing wealth depended on a vibrant timber trade. Today, it's also a thriving tourist centre with a high reputation in commerce and education. Students cycle to and from the town's highly regarded university, founded in 1969. People here normally enjoy life in the quiet lane, but this year they're in for intense competition, as 8 of the mightiest men on earth do battle for the title, the world's strongest man. Jamie Reeves of Great Britain is the world's strongest man, but sadly he cannot defend his title this year. Jamie, what went wrong?
I had an injury in my left arm where the left bicep tore, causing the bicep tendon to rupture. So after a 4-hour operation, I'm on the road to recovery now.
That must be hugely disappointing.
Yes, I'm very disappointed, but for the world's strongest man next year, I'll be back.
Well, that's very encouraging news, Jamie, but we're not losing him. He's staying with us for the rest of the competition. Let's now meet the competitors. On home soil, Ilkka Niemisto, a former Olympic canoeist for Finland and at 46 the oldest competitor. From Hungary, 32-year-old Laszlo Fekete, for 16 years a handball player, now his country's finest millstone thrower. From Denmark, making his first appearance, Henning Thorsen, at 31, 5 times Danish super heavyweight powerlifting champion. From the nearby Soviet state of Estonia, Apu Spensky, at 24 the wrestler is the youngest and lightest competitor. From Great Britain, 26-year-old former bodybuilder Adrian Smith, coached for this contest by former World's Strongest Man champion Jeff Capes. Challing van den Bosch is the Netherlands' strongest man, a former powerlifter, now at 32, a professional Highland Games athlete. From the United States, the 29-stone giant O.D. Wilson, at 36, a former world super heavyweight powerlifting champion. And the man they'll all have to beat, 30-year-old John Paul Sigmarsson, bidding for a record 4th title. Each day, massive log chains, hundreds of meters long, are pulled down the river Pielajoki to the Joensuu sawmills. Well, a tug normally does that, but for event 1 of World's Strongest Man, each man will be hauling over 20 meters, 15 tons of logs against the current. It's difficult enough, but when you consider that most of this, like an iceberg, is under the water, you see the task ahead of them. So, perfect conditions on the river for event 1 as a large crowd watches the logs being pushed into position. A moment for 3 times title holder John Paul Sigmarsson to reflect on the difficulties lying ahead.
Mainly, I think the competitors could slip on the rope, and some of them might not have, you know, enough power.
Looking at the field this year, who's the biggest threat to you?
The biggest one is O.D. Wilson. He's a mighty big man.
And does he pose the biggest threat as well?
You just have to wait and see.
Ilkka Niemisto, Finland, prepare to pull.
So, Finland's strongest man is first to take the strain, with the nylon rope biting into his hands. Plenty of advice from his coach Marku, and Jamie Reeves, all the effort appears to be coming from Ilkka's arms.
Yes, Ilkka's using a lot of arm on this pull and doesn't seem to be using enough leg, but still is keeping a very smooth action, and it looks a very quick pull.
Well, he's 46 years old, Jamie. Where's it really hurting him?
The arms will be taking a real beating now as he's getting towards the end.
That's the 5-meter mark. Into the home straight. The klaxon sounds, it's 57.52 seconds. A very good effort from the oldest competitor.
Prepare to pull.
A mighty roar from a man who's more used to throwing than pulling. Laszlo Fekete, the Hungarian millstone thrower, losing a grip there on this wet nylon rope, Jamie.
Yes, his grip seems to be at fault here. He's not squeezing the rope hard enough. It's slipping through his hands terribly. He's really got to buckle under and pull this now.
Well, there's huge effort, but really is wasting it, isn't he?
Yes, it looks a very slow time. He's wasting a lot of power, but his arms are slipping.
Almost at 5 metres. Already he's outside Ilka's time. Well, Laszlo looks very disgusted with that, and Adrian Smith watching apprehensively as the judges agree a time of 65.34 seconds.
Challenge Van den Bosch, the Netherlands. Prepare to pull.
Challing this time leaning right forward, gripping as far up the rope as he possibly can. He's 22 stones, possibly the body weight a key factor, Jamie.
I think the body weight will help him overcome the inertia of the load, but once again Charlie's slipping and he doesn't seem to be using enough leg again.
A longer reach this time from the Dutchman.
Yes, he's got a good long reach and he's using that to his advantage now.
Well, there's terrific determination written across his face as he pulls faster and faster. The time's looking good. Well, these hands must be burning, but that's a leading time, 55.46 seconds. He must be happy with that effort.
Okay, I beat the first two competitors, but I'm afraid the winning time will be around 50 seconds flat. And that is not my time, I'm afraid.
We could see your hands were hurting at the end there.
Ah, yes. It burns a little, hey? It's nylon, so. But that doesn't matter. That pain is not important. The pain of not winning is more important.
Prepare to pull.
Now after Uspensky, the lightest man in the contest, a mere 17.5 stones. Well, he's a professional wrestler, Jamie, so does he have the technique to cope with this?
App looks well coordinated and he's using his legs, but he doesn't seem to be coming back to the rope fast enough. He's not really attacking it, but still it's a very smooth pull.
One disadvantage, these logs are soaking up the water as the event goes on.
Yes, they're getting heavier all the time.
Well, only 5 metres separating the Estonian from the finishing line. He's pushing the Dutchman hard.
That's a good time.
55.86 seconds, a very good performance from such a light man, and App is second.
John Paul Sigmarsson of Iceland, prepare to pull.
Now the turn of John Paul Sigmarsson, the contest's most experienced competitor. Well, coming from Iceland, he's used to maritime events. How's he doing here?
He doesn't seem to be going back to the rope fast enough. He seems to be asleep. He's not pulling nowhere near hard enough on this.
A very different technique, using both hands at the one time.
Yes, and then again, he's not using enough leg.
Well, the time is definitely slow. There's the 5 metre mark again.
That's not a good start.
Frustration from John Paul, 57.7 seconds, second last.
Ooh. What were the problems there?
Just not strong enough. No excuses.
Henning Thorsen from Denmark now takes up the Viking Challenge. This is his debut event in World's Strongest Man. And that's his view of the task, with 15 metres of the 20-metre course lying ahead.
Henning's doing very short strokes. The raft doesn't seem to be moving. He's using all arm. He's not getting his legs and back into this at all.
Shouts of encouragement, but he is slower again. 57 seconds gone. Only Fekete slower so far. Well, acknowledgement of his time, 59.61 seconds, but all eyes now focusing on the biggest man in the contest. Odie Wilson descending for his attempt at the log haul against the flow of the Pielesjoki River. And some looks of disbelief at his sheer size.
Odie Wilson, USA, prepare to pull.
Yeah, come on, man.
Now that's better. Odie seemed to use his 29 stones effectively, giving the logs a real tug before reaching the sitting position. Jamie, will this massive upper body strength help pull the 15 tons?
Yes, if anyone's going to pull it with just arms, it's going to be OD. He's got 24-inch arms. That's as big as a woman's waist.
Incredible, his size, but he seems to be making progress.
Yes, he's really getting his big body weight behind this and giving it a good pull.
Inside the last 3 metres, the time's very good. Yes, he set the heather on fire there, 53.33 seconds, beating Uspensky and Van den Bosch. He's in the lead.
I know you were worried about your grip, but it held firm there.
Yeah, I think before the competition, I touched Jamie Reeves. I said, I need some of your power. So it came, it worked. So that was it. Yeah, for any kids out there watching, when you grow up, be a strongman. This is great stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Adrian Smith, United Kingdom, prepare to pull.
Now the advantage for Britain's Adrian Smith, the last man to pull, is knowing precisely what he has to beat. His disadvantage is a body weight of 19 stones, some 10 stones lighter than OD.
I don't think that's bothering Adrian because he's really attacking this rope and he's using a lot of leg. This is the first time we've seen anybody really attack this rope.
Same technique as Uspensky, but more aggression.
Yes, and a lot more leg. This looks like being a fast time.
5 metre mark, he's inside everybody now. Oh, what a great time.
Great start for Adrian.
50.32 seconds, 3 seconds faster than OD as John Paul suffers in silence. But for Adrian, sweet victory.
Well done, Adrian. Tremendous start there.
Yeah, very pleased with the start. I had a bit of an advantage with the luck of the draw going last, so I knew which time I needed to beat. But I'm very pleased with it.
You're one of the smallest, lightest men. It didn't seem to matter.
No. Fitness and just strength can overcome loss of body weight, so, you know, I'm very pleased.
And no wonder as Smith takes maximum points. OD takes 7, and in his first major contest, Uspensky does very well to earn 5. For Sigmarsson, it's a disastrous start.
We've moved right to the heart of Juenso now for one of the great favourites of the competition, the truck pool. Competitors are asked to haul 6.5 tons of truck 20 metres along the high street. This time, it's man against man.
Heat 1 pits the drive of Estonian Uspensky against the strength of Dutchman Tjalling van den Bosch. So the Dutchman, filling this great harness, strains forward to give the truck momentum. He's taking short steps and already pulling clear of the Soviet competitor.
Yes, this is good technique by Charlie. Short strides, slowly beginning to lengthen them as the truck gets moving faster. Looks like he's struggling. I think he's got spikes on. He seems to be slipping a little bit.
Walking in the white lines, that's a mistake, they're slipping. And Tjalling van den Bosch from Holland almost running towards the finish line. The time's good.
Yes, this is a good time for Charlie. He's nearly there.
Yes, 29.4 seconds, but he came down heavily. How important's body weight here, Jamie?
Well, body weight helps at the start, but it's up to the athlete to keep low and show good technique and keep the pull clean all the way through.
Uspensky's almost there now. It's 46.98 seconds. Tjalling clearly in pain, clutching the shoulder after that landing.
It's not really bad, but when I finished, I reached for the line and I landed on my elbow. So I had the idea the shoulder was here. And I think it was for a second, but it came in nicely, so there's not really a problem, I hope.
Heat 2 and 3 times title holder John Paul Sigmarsson tries to psych himself up. Laszlo Fekete takes the strain.
On your march and get set.
And Sigmarsson needs some points badly here. He's currently lying in 6th place, but he's very experienced in this event and seems to have the right technique.
Yes, this is copybook technique by Sigmarsson. He's staying really low, keeping the hips low, driving with the legs, but he knows he needs the points badly on this event. Laszlo's all over the place. He's swaying from side to side. He's not steady on the rope at all.
Well, now the Icelander's within easy reach of the line. He's very fast. Let's watch the time. It's 30.9 seconds. But he's still outside Tjalling's time. The Dutchman's beaten him into second. And Fekete touches down now. 35.24 seconds. Well, in spite of that performance, the Icelandic camp seems despondent. John Paul seems to lack the fire of old.
I'm hardly awake yet, so I didn't say anything. Just did it. Just like stepping out of the bed. But you will see more, you know, later on. More madness.
Well, an indication perhaps of the way John Paul's feeling, but there are 6 remaining events. And on the starting blocks for Heat 3, Adrian Smith and Henning Thorsen. Adrian Smith on the near side really low, while Henning Thorsen is in a far more upright position.
Yes, although Adrian looks low with his head, his hips seem to be high. Thorsen seems to be a little more upright, but Adrian's giving away so much body weight to Thorsen, around 4 stones. I think that's going to be too much in this event.
Thorson driving forward, pulling well clear of Adrian Smith now. Approaching the finishing line, the time is 32.9, he's third. Smith's not far behind, he touches down now in 35.42, he's fifth. And a touch of the Sigmassons from Thorson, and from Smith a more philosophical approach.
There's 8 different events, and I've tried to balance them so that everyone has a fair crack. And obviously this one isn't one of my best ones, but if I can be average on all of them and good on the good ones, I'll finish well.
Do you have your game plan in place already for the whole competition?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So are you on schedule?
Yeah, I think so.
A quietly confident Smith. But there's a mean man in town. The children love him, and the other competitors know he's the one to beat here. Facing Wilson in this final heat is Ilkka Niemistö of Finland, 9 stones lighter than the American, and at 46, 10 years older than him.
USA, Ilkka Niemistö, Finland. On your marks and get set.
This then, a battle between 2 hugely popular men. O.D. Wilson in a much more upright position and staggering around as he drives forward. Niemistö preferring to stay close to the ground.
Yes, Niemisto's got a good technique, but there's no technique at all on O.D. Wilson. This is just sheer power what's pulling this truck down here.
But this is giving him a fast time, 22 seconds on the clock.
This is really fast.
He touches down now, 25.04 seconds to win. And Niemistö over in 35.62 seconds. Delight for Wilson, disappointment for Niemistö. So the truck pool favourite Sigmason has to make do with third place, while Van den Bosch finishes a powerful second behind the mighty muscleman from America, O.D. Wilson.
Is there a danger with a guy of your size that you burn yourself up too early on?
Well, if you're not in shape, it's always a danger, whether you're this size or you're small. But I'm weighing 184 kilos. I'm in pretty good shape for a guy that weight, so no, I have no problem in burning myself up or anything like that. So I'm doing great.
What's the game plan?
Just to compete and have a good time. That's basically it.
And O.D. seems to be doing just that, having opened a 2-point lead after 2 events. Charling Van den Bosch has moved to second at the expense of Adrian Smith, and while John Paul Sigmason has leapt into 4th place, he's still 6 points behind O.D. For event 3, we move to the edge of Joensuu and Lake Päijäselkä. This naturally sandy cove is popular for bathing and boating.
Successive generations here in North Karelia have used boats like this to take the entire family across the lake to church. Well, we're trying to reenact tradition today because it takes strong men to lift these down to the waterside. We're asking our competitors to lift this boat 40 feet long off its blocks. Only to make things worse, we're increasing the weights inside at every turn.
Tactical awareness will play a major part in this event, as competitors are allowed only 6 lifts in front of this large crowd. They must decide which weights to attempt and which to decline in order to reach their limit without wasting lifts. We join Adrian Smith, about to attempt 800 kilos, that's over 3/4 of a ton.
Adrian Smith, prepare to lift. In your own time.
What we're looking for here is the trestle legs leaving the floor. The black and white legs. Like that.
Yes, success for Adrian at 800 kilos at the type of event he enjoys. Well, there are only 3 competitors left, so let's now join John Paul Sigmason going for the same weight on his 4th lift. But he's been struggling with a shoulder injury. Oh, he seems to be in real pain.
Looks like they're going to alter the stands to try and get John Paul more comfortable under the apparatus.
Well, he has 90 seconds. He's well within the limit.
Oh, that's a much better lift.
Yes, the correct position and sheer guts carrying John Paul through. Well, now the weight increases to 825 kilos. And Ilkka's team supports in different ways. A prayer from his wife, a slap in the face from his coach to psych up the Finnish champion.
Oh, and Ernesto looks purpose-built for this. A very comfortable lift.
Now O.D. Wilson, same weight again, his fourth lift.
Oh, that's just sheer back power.
Great appreciation for the strength of O.D. Wilson, having lifted the equivalent of a family-sized car on his back. But it's getting heavier all the time, and as John Paul Sigmarsson elects to increase his weight to 850 kilos for lift number 5, he's playing a game of poker with his rivals.
John Paul Sigmarsson, prepare to lift in your own time. Lift!
Seems to have found a good lifting position this time again.
Yes, this is more like it from the former champion. But others are still in the hunt. Henning Thorsen is using his final lift to match John Paul's 850 kilos.
Henning looks cramped under the apparatus and he doesn't look comfortable to me. Back just seems too arched.
No, he's had enough. He's out. Disappointment for the Dane, but Britain's Adrian Smith is now attempting 850 kilos with his final lift.
Adrian's looked so good up to now. I think he should have saved a few lifts and gone a little bit heavier than this.
Final lift for Adrian Smith. Adrian Smith, prepare to lift in your own time. Lift! Push!
Well, he's playing his last card, so he must have this.
Once again, an easy lift. But that's it, he's finished now.
Yes, very comfortable, but tactically, could he have been more ambitious?
Unfortunately, because I've not seen this before, and it's a new test, I had to gamble at what lifts to take, and I didn't want to jump too far, too quickly, and pull a muscle. So I went nice and steady up to the top. I think I'd have maybe had one more lift left, but you know, I'll know if this is ever in another competition.
Final lift for John Paul as he tries to leapfrog Smith with 875 kilos.
In your own time. Lift!
Well, he needs these points very badly, Jamie.
Yes, he's got an injured shoulder and it makes you wonder whether it's worth pushing it on this first day of the competition. There's 2 more days to go. No, I think that's it. I think he's finished now. He looks hurt.
Well, not a good first day for John Paul, but he has proved before to be dangerous when he's behind.
Oh yes, I'm very good at the last few meters, usually.
You must know your own limitations and stop just short of damaging yourself. But does the thought of serious injury worry you at all?
You go almost 100%, you know, but you still think all the time about injuries. And when you feel something is going to pop, you think twice.
Yeah, it's getting tactical now. It's also getting hard. But it's going pretty well. Just let it all hang out on this last one.
Only 2 left in it now as Marku whips up the local choir to ensure Ilka has plenty of vocal backing for his final lift. The weight now is 925 kilos, over 2,000 pounds.
Not as convincing as the other lifts, but still gets green lights.
Osman, but very power.
Well, only one man can deny the Finn outright victory. That's O.D. Wilson. He's now attempting the same weight on his final lift, and the pressure's really on.
Final attempt for O.D. Wilson.
O.D.'s got his legs very wide apart to try and get lower, but I feel this is putting him in an inefficient lifting position. He looks very cramped. No, he didn't look comfortable at all. Namisto's the winner.
Jubilation for Ilkes Camp as OD concedes defeat. And the 46-year-old grandfather's performance has thrilled a large crowd hoping to see their local hero succeed on the shores of Lake Pyaselka. So Namisto takes 4 points while OD is unfaltering in his march with 7. Sigmason shares 3rd place with Adrian Smith, but the Finnish double act win the day.
When Markus starts slapping you around the face and shouting at you, does that help inspire you?
Ottaako Markku lyö naamaa? Mä sain puolet lisää voimaa Markulta. He got half more power from that.
Next week is my turn.
So at the end of day 1, this is the overall position in the competition. That win gives Ilkka Namisto 5th place, just behind John Paul Sigmason, still lacking Viking inspiration. Smith and Van den Bosch have again swapped places, but way out in front, O.D. Wilson, and he's looking difficult to beat.
Yeah, he's really psyched up and gone for it today, OD, but I think he knows today was his strong day and he needs those points to get a good lead, which he has done perfectly.
Mobility won't be his strong point in the days to come.
I would imagine so, no.
Adrian must be pleased with his position, lying second, just 5.5 points off the lead.
Yes, and Adrian's got some good events to come too. The mobility events. Adrian's very agile, he's one of the lightest men. So Adrian poses a real threat to the lead tomorrow.
Would you be so bold as to pick a winner at this stage?
I still think Sigmason can come through and win.
OD is also leading the popularity stakes, but what does he do when not signing autographs or pumping iron?
I'm a bodyguard by profession. I escort people around with stars and movie stars and stuff like this, and when I'm not doing that, I'm a security guard.
What sort of people are you looking after then?
I look after, you probably haven't heard of Evelyn Champagne King, Janet Jackson, Michael, and people like that.
Well, Michael Jackson himself has a very strange reputation. How do you get on with him?
He has a very strange reputation. He don't talk very much, but he seems to be intrigued with big people, so he's a real nice guy.
But certainly people won't give him hassle when you're hanging around.
No, because if they did and I let them, I'd lose my job. I can't afford to do that. But it's a lot of fun. It gets dangerous sometimes, but it's a lot of fun. And being this size, you know, I've done a few movies and things of this nature, so I'm always looking for opportunity to do something with a man. Like I said, when you're this size, you know, people be staring at you like I got everybody looking at me like, where did he come from? What is this? But I kind of like it. It's a lot of fun.
Day 2 of the competition brings us to Outokumpu, some 50 kilometers from Joensuu. The town's copper mine is the source of its wealth, and the strength and work rate of its miners here a legend. Our competitors are stepping into their shoes as they attempt to carry 270 kilos of stones over 10 meters against the clock.
A feeling of camaraderie before event number 4, but it's the calm before the storm.
So this is the first of the cardiovascular events where everything has to work together.
Yes, well, coordination also, but it's an event we never had before, so you also see who has the most brain.
Laszlo Fegete, Hungary. Charling Van den Bosch, the Netherlands. On your marks and get set.
Not only is this event against the clock, but the competitors must also load a minimum of 270 kilos into the railway trucks. Each basket will weigh 90 kilos. That's a 14-stone man.
Yes, the tall men are at an advantage putting the baskets on, whereas the short men are at a disadvantage, and both Laszlo and Charlie are very tall.
Well, Laszlo has the advantage. There's Charlie's first basket going on. Oh, he seems to have hurt himself there.
Yes, it looked like an ankle or something, could have strained an ankle running back.
Well, nevertheless, he's plodding on it, but going very quickly. This is a reasonable time and both are shoveling hard.
Yes, it's a good race too between both of them.
Charling, despite any injury, is turning second.
Yes, it doesn't look like the ankle's bothering him now.
Up with that final push, basket number 2 goes on.
It's a race now for the final basket.
So where's the pain for the competitors, Jamie?
The pain must be in the legs. The legs will be really feeling it now, running back and forth with the baskets. But I'm sure the backs are very tight from the boat lift yesterday and all the day's events.
Well, for a big man, Charling's got down very well and he's struggling. There's the clock, 1:35. The time is going to be good. A final lift onto the truck, and it's there in 1:41 for Van den Bosch. And Fekete's not far behind on 1:49. And Laszlo's turn to emulate the Viking roars.
Nagyon nehéz versenyszám ez. Hát sajnos a terepem nem a legjobb, de úgy érzem, aránylag sikerült. Talán még feljebb is tudok valamivel jutni. Bizakodom itt a versenyszámokban, hogy az első 5-be talán bent leszek. Thank you.
Frustration though for Challing. Jamie, what's the problem?
Last year the Achilles tendon actually ruptured and came away from the heel. He's had a major operation to attach the Achilles, and I think they're just trying to determine whether the tendons actually come off again or just strained. He must have felt it, and he carried on all three. So really Charlie's took the gamble whether he can go on in the competition or whether he has to cease his challenge right now.
We join Henning Thorsen from Denmark, nearest us, against the Estonian professional wrestler Apu Spensky, each on their second basket. Henning's height of 6'3" will be an advantage in lifting these baskets over the smaller man.
Yes, Henning there, no problem putting that basket on. Apps having to lift the basket at the bottom to try and get that extra height when he gets to the car.
More of a struggle for the smaller man. A good effort.
Henning very fast with the shovel there. His technique on the shovel's fantastic.
But there, by contrast, App's basket's all over the place.
Yes, he's putting it more stable now so it doesn't tip over. But Henning's already on his third basket. Henning's coming to finish. This looks a very fast time.
1:28 on the clock.
That's the winner. Has he got it on? Yeah, that looks like the winning time.
A time for the Great Dane, 1:34, the fastest yet. But Uspensky is still battling on bravely. Very gutsy show from the smaller man, and he's enjoying himself. Well, he's almost there now. The time, 1:51. And Thorsen beginning to impress now.
I don't think it was that hard. I might even could have done a little bit faster if I had known it would be that easy.
Any clue as to why you're so quick with the shovel?
My work is as construction work, and I usually do a lot of work with a shovel.
Meanwhile, if the crowd is concerned about Challing's injury, the Dutchman's not.
The doctor's had a look at it. What's he said to you?
Hold on. So, I need an interpreter.
But Heat 3 now, and O.D. Wilson against Adrian Smith, first and second overall, and Adrian's trying new tactics.
Yes, Adrian looks like he's filling all three baskets. OD's onto his second basket. Now it looks like a big tactical error for Adrian. OD's coming back now for his last basket, and Adrian hasn't loaded one yet.
Well, I wonder if panic will set in, because he's way behind the giant.
Yes, and that basket looks light. It only looks half full. He's just throwing it on.
Well, the problem there is that he has to reach 270 kilos. He could be underweight.
Yes, it's leaving a lot to do on this last basket, but it doesn't look like he's got any stones left to load.
Final effort to lift this one up. Oh, he's lost some kilos there.
He's losing a lot of stones, and he really needs a big third basket.
I look rather discouraged by that, because OD is on his third basket and almost ready to go.
Looks like Adrian's lost it. His momentum's gone. He seems to be panicking now.
The stones are scattered all over the place. It's impossible to find them.
Yes, he's only putting half shovelfuls in.
I wonder if his trainer's letting him down. Surely he should be advising him.
His trainer should have told him. OD's off on his third, but Adrian's trainer's let him go with half a basket on his third one. He's got to be underweight now, surely.
And Adrian's slow as well at 2:10. OD, by contrast, was light on his feet for a big man, but Adrian's failed to make the weight. It's a tactical disaster for him.
I thought I'd try something different, load them all together, but I didn't imagine that the stones would scatter.
On your marks and get set!
The final heat, and the two men with much to prove. John Paul Sigmarsson, that he's not out of this title race. Ilkka Niemisto, that he's worth the very considerable local support. And already these two are loading very quickly, Jamie.
Yes, they've set off at a blistering pace. I'm just wondering if they can keep this up through the whole heat. They're both taking very big baskets, full to the top. They're both very fast with the shovel.
Sigmarsson at his best, but Niemisto's sticking with him all the way.
Yes, this is one of the events where Sigmarsson excels, and he's very explosive and very fast. This is just up his street, but Niemisto seems to be sticking with him all the way.
Remember, Henning Thorsen, the Dane, has the leading time of 1 minute 30.
Sigmarsson nearly slipped then. The baskets are really, really heavy, which he's taking. He's struggling now to get this basket on. And the Ministers took the lead. But the Ministers going like a rocket.
There's a head-to-head between these two. 1:34 the time to beat.
Sigmarsson's going, he feels he's got enough weight.
Look at the clock, he's inside him.
Yes, this is the fastest heat by far, that's the winner, surely.
1:24, a remarkable time, and the Meester behind him, 1:26, tremendous. Sigmarsson's first win of the competition, great spirit between the men who share Viking inspiration.
Iceland! Finland!
And the Icelanders back in business.
You, and you, and you, and you, and you thought I would finish. I'm Icelandic, I'm not finished. I would not be here if I thought I was going to lose. I always think I'm going to win. It is better to have a bad start and a good end than a good start and bad end.
So, halfway through the contest for the Daft Trophy, John Paul leaps into second place behind OD. Ilke and Challing are lying handy, but Adrian's tactical gamble drops him 3 costly places. Close by, another monument to Outokumpu's industrial past, soon to be transformed as part of a multi-million-pound golf and leisure complex, golf being Finland's fastest-growing sport. It promises to be an example of Karelian industrial reclamation at its very best. If it's as successful as the Mining Museum, it'll prove another striking example of Finnish industrial preservation.
Well, we've moved inside the Outokumpu mine now, internationally renowned for its export of copper around the world. It's also well known in this part of Finland for its trawl legend, hence this fellow here. Well, another great legend of this competition, John Paul Sigmarsson, is beginning to stamp his mark on the championship.
John Paul attempting 110 kilos, 16 stones on his first lift.
Yes, a very easy lift for John Paul. It looked well within his capabilities.
Well, let's see if Smith can match that.
Prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Adrian's first attempt at the same weight.
Yes, he's got to get this up to his shoulders and then onto his hands from the pull into the push position. But he looks a little off balance at the moment.
Final thrust required from Smith. And he's there. Well, John Paul looking on impassively as Henning Thorsen, having cleared 110 kilos, is leaping forward to 120. But a far more awkward stone, Jamie.
Yes, this is a very big stone. It looks very, very awkward. Henning being the second tallest competitor behind O.D. Wilson. He's got quite a way to push this rock.
Come on. 10 seconds to go.
You can do it!
Well, not so convincing, but they've given it to him.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Wilson's elected to go to 120 kilos on his third lift. Well, this kind of event should suit him, really.
Yes, I don't think this will prove too much trouble for O.D.'s massive upper body strength.
Good lift, down.
Yeah, very easy lift.
And as the competition goes on, he's looking increasingly stronger, Jamie.
Yes, he's getting stronger by each event.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Very much home territory for Laszlo Fekete, the Hungarian millstone throwing champion. Of all the techniques on display, Jamie, his should be the best.
Yes, I think he'll use the same technique as the millstones, up onto his head and then a simple lock of the arms. Yes.
Success on a third lift at 120 kilos. No wonder he's delighted he made it look so easy. Now the turn of John Paul at the same weight. Sigmarsson trying to pump up the adrenaline before this tricky stone.
Yes, he looks really psyched up for this lift.
John Paul Sigmarsson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, he won the last event, Jamie. He's got to keep the momentum going.
Yes, he's at home lifting stones. He's got a very smooth technique.
18 stones balancing in his chest.
And an easy press.
He's done it.
Oh, he's really smoking now.
It takes two ordinary mortals to haul the next stone, the 125 kilo rock, into position. O.D. Wilson next, his fourth attempt.
O.D. Wilson, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
O.D.'s enormous size makes that rock look like a brick, but it's no easy task, Jamie.
No, it's the equivalent of lifting a 20-stone man above his head.
Yes. Come on, Robbie.
It's up to his shoulders. He's just got to try and swap his arms round and get his balance. He looks well positioned here.
Going for the press now.
Oh, he's come down on his head.
Come on, Odie.
This must have knocked his concentration off this. It looks like he's hanging in there.
Another attempt.
Oh, no, he's lost it.
Well, all he got was a headache for his efforts. Food for thought after seeing that, but now it's the turn of Fekete, same weight.
Laszlo Fekete, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Come on.
Well, these arms and shoulders will really hurt at this weight.
Yes, and don't forget, if Fekete gets this lift, he goes into the lead. It's the same technique he's using. We'll see it go up onto the head. And once again now, just a simple lock of the arms.
Well, he's confident.
Oh, no, not this time. The weight's starting to take its toll on Fekete. He's really struggling with this one.
Come on, Laszlo.
Yes, he's been given it.
Fekete makes 125 kilos. Henning Thorsen and John Paul Sigmason both attempted 130 kilos but failed. And we pick it up at the same weight with Adrian Smith, only his second lift. Is this another gamble?
Adrian Smith, prepare to lift. In your own time, lift.
Well, Jamie, if he gets this, it's a world record.
Yes, but he's only had one warm-up lift before this. If he gets this, he gets the full 8 points too.
Very ambitious, but he was quick to get it onto the shoulders.
Yes, it looks very awkward though. It looks as if he's in his face and he can't get his balance.
Oh!
Yes, it's right in his face, that rock. He's got to press it this time. No, he just can't get his balance.
That's disastrous. It'll cost him dearly. So the man with the eyes of steel, Laszlo Fekete, takes 8 points with O.D. Wilson, John Paul Sigmason and Henning Thorsen all sharing second. Again, inexperience taking its toll for Adrian.
Knowing that you had a total of 6 pulls and all 6 attempts here, shouldn't you perhaps have tried to ease your way up, or would that have drained the power?
Well, I thought I'd save the power. I did 110, and then I looked at the 130, and it was a nice shape. And I was positive I would do it. And I thought I'd go for broke. And, you know, I got it up there, but I had to fight to get a decent handhold. And on the day, I didn't press it. But, I mean, I've pressed a lot more weight than that on a bar, and I just thought that I would be able to do it.
So another chance gone for Smith as Thorsen moves into third place after 5 events. At the top, still only 1.5 points between O.D. and John Paul.
How do you rate John Paul in terms of sheer strength, as a strength competitor?
Too much.
He's very strong. He's looking strong for his 4th title this time. I said before the competition that I thought he'd win a 4th title, and even when he missed a few events, people were saying no, he's not going to do it. I still knew he'd come through.
At the end of day 2, we return to Joensuu to move inside the region's largest hotel. A big crowd has gathered to watch an event featuring specially made replicas of another of Joensuu's trademarks, padlocks. But these weigh 56 pounds and have to be held at arm's length. It's an event feared by most competitors.
Well, Adrian, a couple of setbacks earlier on today, but is this very much your joker?
Well, hopefully, not a joker, an ace. I need to really score highly on this. Because if I don't, there's only 2 events left tomorrow, and they could be anyone's, really. So I need this as a good buffer.
Now, you're still out there on top. Will you be on top after this?
I don't know. I wish I could look and see.
Into Heat 1 then, John Paul Sigmarsson against Charling van den Bosch. Where's the pain, Jamie?
It's all in the shoulders. The shoulders start burning as they start going into the pain barrier. And Charlie looks like he's wavering. He's gone already.
A disappointing time for him.
John Paul's got to hang on now.
And
No,
he's gone
finished.
after 34. That's disastrous. Heat 2, it's Fekete and Nemisto.
These two look very evenly matched. They're both looking at each other and hanging in there. The shoulders and backsides have got to keep well against the boards. We've got referees watching that.
Much better times as Fekete laughs off the pain.
Yes, Nemisto looks like he's wavering.
He's crumpled 36 seconds.
And the referees have stopped Laszlo.
A red flag at 38.
Yes, his backside came away from the wall.
Well, there's an example of the camaraderie which exists among these very specialised strength athletes. Heat 3, Odie Wilson against Henning Thorsen. And Thorsen already wavering. The strain's too much for him, he's gone after 20.
This looks like the kind of event which Odie Wilson can excel in, those massive shoulders and arms. He's really concentrating and going through the pain barrier. It must be burning now.
The time's looking good for him. He's beaten John Paul and Yoka.
He's out there on his own. He knows he's just got to keep with it.
Ahead of Fekete.
This is a good time for Odie.
And that's enough to snatch the lead, 42 seconds.
Just stretching his arms and shoulders. It looks like he's got a little bit of cramp.
Final heat, only Adrian Smith and Apu Spensky can prevent Odie from winning his second event.
Yes, Adrian should really excel in this event with his short arms and strong shoulders. Plus, Adrian really needs these points if he's going to make a serious challenge today.
He calls this one his ace, but
he's gone! Oh no, that's disaster for Adrian.
And Uspensky, 30 seconds for him, 25 for Smith.
I had a cramp in my back. I was really steady, and then my back just locked, and I had a cramp, and I just, bang, had to put it down. This should have been my best event, you know, so it did prove to be the joker, not the ace.
But it's another ace for Odie as he takes maximum points. Fekete grabs second place with Nemisto third, while Sigmarsson is fourth in his least favourite event. We return to the edge of Lake Pyhäselkä for the final day of competition and to the Linnunlahti Stadium where many of Joensuu's music festivals are held. And with only 2 events remaining, here's the position. Odie Wilson has extended that lead over John Paul to 4.5 points. Ilkka Nemisto has moved into third place in front of Laszlo, Adrian and Charling.
The third and final day of competition begins with another traditionally Scandinavian event. The anvil lift hasn't been tried before in World's Strongest Man, but the results will have a profound effect on this year's championship. What are the technical difficulties in lifting these?
First of all, there's 5 anvils, ranging from 120 to 160 kilos. The short guys are going to have an advantage lifting it off the floor, but the bigger guys will have an advantage putting it on the platform.
They need to be fast as well, it's against the clock.
Fast, strong and fit cardiovascular.
Another vast crowd is gathered to see the grand finale.
Okay, Ilkka Nemisto, on your mark, and get set.
Well, Ilkka didn't exactly get his ears boxed this time, but let's see if he's pumped up nonetheless.
Yes, he's lifting the anvils in the crook of his elbow, which is giving him the extra height when he gets to the platform.
Now they're heavier on one side rather than the other, aren't they?
Yes, they're very unevenly balanced. He doesn't seem to be having any problem lifting them off the floor.
Very sprightly for a 46-year-old.
Yes, let's see how he handles these 2 last heavy ones.
Even the mare's getting pumped up. Last anvil.
Here he goes with the big one. Oh, that looks heavy.
And it's there in 39 seconds. Henning Thorsen from Denmark next.
Henning Carlson, on your mark and get set.
Well, Jamie, he was good loading stones. Can he load anvils?
Yes, it looks to be the platform height poses no problem for Henning. Quite nimble on his feet too for a big man.
3 down, 2 to go. Up to 150 kilos now.
Yes, I think it's starting to take its toll now on Henning.
The arms must be agony, but the time's good.
This looks like being the leader. I think he's going to beat Ilka.
He's
yes.
There. 34 seconds for Henning Thorsen. Well, one roaring Viking to another. John Paul Sigmarsson takes centre stage, growing more desperate by the minute to win back the crown, held by the man beside me, Jamie Reeves from Sheffield. OD can stop him. None of his trainer Halti has anything to do with it.
John Paul Sigmarsson, Iceland, on your mark and get set.
3 times holder of the world crown, John Paul Sigmarsson bursting into life, tossing that like a pebble, Jamie.
Yes, it looks like he's bursting with energy. He knows he's got to win this event to stand any chance of catching OD.
Oh, he's in fire this time. He's desperate to win.
Yes, this is the 3rd one going on. It looks a very fast time.
More than 20 stones there.
Oh, he's working now. He's on to the last one. It looks the fastest time.
Well, the time's great. 27 seconds. Every chance of winning the event.
It's on.
That's the lead. 31 seconds.
How fired up were you?
I was very fired up. Very.
Now do you believe you can win this championship?
I told you from the beginning, I am going to win. And of course I believe in it.
And I think you're like the Vikings who are cheering you on.
Yeah. This is a Viking country. And I'm a Viking.
On O.D. Wilson, USA.
No Viking blood in this man's body, but he's managed all right without it so far. Last to run OD.
O.D. Wilson, USA, on your mark and get set.
Now he's a very big man, Jamie. That must be a problem here.
Yes, we've got to see if we've got an answer to John Paul's challenge.
Looking fairly nimble.
He's not turning his massive bulk around, he's just skipping back for them.
That's more the technique of a boxer. He used to be one.
Yes, he's saving time too.
Well, the time's looking very good indeed. The 4th anvil's on now. Let's see the clock.
This is really fast. This could be the winning time.
He's ahead. And he's won.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. I hate for people to overlook me like I'm not there. It makes me mad. And now I'm mad.
So I
will win. I will win. OD will win.
John Paul Sigmarsson, your greatest rival, was applauding you all the way there.
I was applauding him, but I heard him say he will win the competition. That fired me up. I will win.
It seems now you've
I
every
will
chance.
win.
Do you believe you can still win? It's very difficult
Yes.
now.
I am something like 5.5 points behind. It will be very tough, but I'm going to try anyway.
Confirmation of OD's outstanding victory over John Paul in the type of event normally dominated by the Icelander. And Thorsen's back in the points again in his battle with Nemisto. But if John Paul is to win this competition for a record-breaking 4th time, he has to beat OD by 6 clear points. Having witnessed the determination, not to mention the fury of the American, that's a tall order.
It's fitting that for the final event here in Joensuu, we're travelling back in time to the days when most Finns built their own homes. Well, our competitors are helping out on the building site this afternoon by carrying this hod weighing 100 kilos, some 16 stones, over 200 metres. If you like, it's do-it-yourself with a vengeance.
We pick it up in the 3rd heat with Apu Spensky putting in a storming run to finish in a time of 52.75 seconds. That set a really blistering pace. But all eyes now are on the showdown between OD and John Paul. Can the Icelander really salvage 6 points?
It's never over before it's over. So we have a little hope. John Paul will run
This should be the run of his life. So he has everything to win, but it might not be enough. But we have to see.
John Paul Sigmarsson, Odie Wilson, on your march and get set.
John Paul Sigmarsson simply has to win this event and in under 52 seconds to stand any chance of winning the competition.
That's right, and OD must finish 12 seconds behind him to win the title. But the bricks are looking very low on OD's back. He wants to get them really high on his shoulders. It looks like he's pacing himself, but I don't know whether it's enough.
Look at the speed of John Paul Sigmarsson and Halti Andersson following him every inch of the way.
But it looks like OD's more than 12 seconds behind him. The other competitors are running over, trying to spur OD on and make him run faster.
Sigmarsson accelerating all the time now.
OD looks like he's tiring really badly.
And Halti's watching that clock. Every second's going past, but look at the time. He's approaching the finishing line. He's got to beat 52. And he's done it!
He's done it! OD's got to finish in under 1 minute 4 now to assure himself of the title.
It's a struggle. Let's see how the time is.
Oh, no!
John Paul's the champion!
Oh, what a cruel way to lose. OD must be devastated. It's a shame there's got to be a loser at this class of competition.
I told you all the time! I told you! I bloody told you!
Well, this huge crowd can scarcely believe what they've seen. John Paul Sigmarsson has overturned OD's 5.5-point lead and by less than 2 seconds has earned first place. From the new champion, nothing but respect for OD.
Odie, he surprised me a lot. Hell of a lot. You know, he's in such a good shape for such a big man. And number one, he's a very good guy.
Is there something special about this inner Viking strength of yours?
As a kid, I started to read the Icelandic sagas, and I was very impressed. So I just tried to do the same, but of course I can't chop heads of people. I have to do it my way in competitions against giants. Sigmarsson, he's a tough guy. He's strong and he's fast. He got good size and he got power. I feel I'm not taking anything away from Sigmarsson, but I feel within myself that when it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet. I may not be able to run. I may not could jump over a bus, but I can move anything on this planet. And I'm coming back to this competition if I'm invited. And I promise you that I will be standing in #1. I promise you that.
So after 3 days of competition, a mere half a point separates these two great strength athletes. Ilka, the grandfather, is third, Thorsten fourth in his debut, and a wiser Adrian Smith is fifth.
Well done. No champion. He is still no champion. He's not been beaten. So I will meet him next year in a bloody good competition.
Next year for another fight.
But that's for tomorrow. Today's champion is John Paul Sigmarsson, paying tribute to OD before taking his rightful position. And so Mr. Chris Thornycroft-Smith, marketing director of Daft Trucks, presents a trophy and a £5,500 cheque to this charismatic champion. For a record 4th time, John Paul Sigmarsson is the world's strongest man.